was the Bills had shown us since that Week 1 debacle against the Jets, they had refound their footing. And I'm getting so many hostile emails from Bills fans who are saying, oh, how's that Jenga tower doing? It's like, well, the thing about a Jenga tower is sometimes it falls and sometimes it doesn't, right? But early in the season, they were doing this. It's stabilized. Kudos. My point is, it felt like the whole thing was going to fall. After losing to Zach Wilson and the Jets, following the injury to Aaron Rodgers, how could anyone dispute that the Jenga tower was wobbly?
Yeah.
And they held it together. You thought it was going to fall Week 2 against the Raiders.
I did.
They held it together. And they've looked very good, especially on defense, but total team effort, exactly what they needed. It can't just be Josh Allen. And last 3 weeks, it hasn't been just Josh Allen.
No.
And this is why the Bills suddenly look like the team that everyone has been hoping they would be, especially Bills fans, for the past 4 years.
Yeah, that's right. I'm with you. I thought maybe the window had closed on the Buffalo Bills the way last season ended. Who was going to be the other people that jump out on the offensive side of the ball? All those questions. I started to wonder, can they make this happen one more time? Obviously, proving both of us wrong here. And, no doubt now through 4 weeks that they're one of the 4 or 5 best teams in football. But, to how you started it, that is the big thing. One, nothing's more motivating to an NFL football player than fear, right? And they saw that game last week, and their defense was like, oh, shit, we better be on it this week, or they're going to be running all around our football field, and it's going to be Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Mostert in a track meet, and we're going to get embarrassed in front of our home crowd. And then, of course, the other side of the ball with Josh Allen and company, they're doing the same thing, going, damn, we got to keep pace. We got to be on our game this week. The Dolphins might score 50. We might have to score 51. So that in itself, showed up on yesterday, on Sunday. They were on it. They had answers for everything that the Dolphins were doing. And I think you got to start out with McDermott and the defensive game plan. One, McDermott is a defensive genius. He is, as you've heard me say a lot, a master at coaching zone coverages. They're awesome at passing guys off, playing certain areas as far as the breakdowns, then doing what we just saw in the last 2 clips there, getting hands up. If you're going to play the Miami Dolphins with these quick throws and everything, you need guys to stick their hands up to take away the wide receiver screen or the little quick pass over the middle. It looked like they really filled the middle of the field, the defenders a lot. The defensive line was awesome. Rousseau was everywhere, whether it was batted balls or sacking the quarterback. And they got 2 middle linebackers in the middle that got 3 rockets up their ass. All right, Milano and Terrell Bernard are kamikaze 49er-ish like linebackers that just fly around the field. So the defensive effort and creating a few turnovers, getting a 4th and 1 stop at midfield, all of that was absolutely phenomenal. And we know how good this Dolphins offense is. Real, they're talented, they're well coached. And to do that on this on Sunday was damn impressive by them. So I give them a lot of credit for sure.
Miami was 3 out of 10 on 3rd down, 0 for 3 on 4th down, 2 turnovers, 9 quarterback hits, 4 sacks, and Tua Tagovailoa, not nearly the kind of performance we'd seen the week before or all year long, just 282 passing yards. And Tyreek Hill, 3 catches, 58 yards, a far cry from what we've seen from him in the past as well. That's what the Bills' defense needed to do. And you combine that with a pretty damn good offense where you've got Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things, 5 total touchdowns, 320 passing yards. Stefon Diggs, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Still getting support in the running game from James Cook. Gabe Davis stepping up. Look at this one.
I know.
If you're the receivers, the stone cold. If you're the receiver, you got to be ready for that ball anytime, any place, anywhere, don't you?
Yeah, you do. He's running around. He's jumping. That first touchdown, like you're talking about, he throws a sidearm as he's running up the middle of the field and decides, oh, wait, he's open. Let me just jump and throw this. Throws a missile. And that's where him and Diggs are special in that connection. And then this long one here at 21-14. The Bills were on a mission yesterday. The Bills wanted to remind the public going, hey, we're the team that won the damn AFC East the last 2 years. We're not ready just to, get off the throne here and let Miami have this. They were highly motivated. And Allen, I think on top of that, the same thing. He's going, hey, I've been the man in this division, the last few years. He's not ready to give this up to Tua and company yet. He's not, let alone Josh Allen's been disrespected ever since that first game of the year and the interceptions against the Jets. I mean, people talking crazy like, oh, he fell off and he's not elite anymore. Are you watching the same game? I mean, he's arguably the most physically gifted quarterback in the history of football. I mean, it's not even debatable. That's how awesome Josh Allen is.
Sometimes he tries to do too much.
I know. That's the only problem.
Tries to do too much.
And right, he's gotten back right here. He got week 1 was not right. Week 2, 3, and 4 has been phenomenal. And, Mike, to your point, they got some other avenues going here finally. Gabe Davis is showing up on a consistent basis. They are running the ball a little bit. And then, the 2 tight ends and Knox and Dalton Kincaid, they pop up a little bit. Cook makes a play in the passing game. So they got something working in Buffalo right now. Very impressive. Really was. Big-time win, big-time reminder that, they're the real deal. And, like we're talking about, the Jenga tower ain't falling over yet. It's damn sturdy for right now.
8 different players had catches yesterday from Josh Allen, and Gabe Davis had 3 for 61 and a touchdown. Devon Achane. It's Achane now. It was Achane. It's Achane now.
Right.
He's special.
Ooh.
We kind of lost sight of him yesterday because the Bills overpowered Miami, but he had 8 rushes for 101 yards. 8!
Kind of good.
For 101. They got forced away from the running game as things got out of hand, but holy crap. So, the Dolphins aren't done yet. I want to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Because this has been bothering me since yesterday, and I saw it again twice. Can we play the pack of the Stefon Diggs touchdowns, please? Because the second one in particular.
Yeah. The one up the left sideline, the little stop route, right?
Right. After the catch, like, what the hell is this effort to tackle or not tackle? Like, is this a result of they don't practice tackling anymore? Like, what is that? What the hell is that?
Right.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a little.
And I don't want to blame the player.
Right.
Like, is this the result of? And I don't want us to go viral. We don't need another clip on Twitter. All I'm saying is, when you don't practice tackling to the ground, when you skew, and I want the game to be safer for everyone, but you have to have the ability to go out on Sundays. That's the problem. You have to have guys ready to go out on Sundays and play tackle football. And it can't be two-hand touch 6 days of the week and then tackle on Sunday. Some guys, like most of the players on the 49ers, can roll out of bed and go play tackle football on Sunday even though they never practice it that way. Some guys can't. And that's what I thought of when I saw that. It's like, is this two-hand touch? Is this flag football? Is he trying to grab his flags? Like, why isn't he tackling him? And again, I'm not blaming it on the player. I'm blaming it on the fact that in today's NFL,
it's a different league.
The way that they have taken contact out of practice for health and safety purposes, and all I'm saying, there's a balance there. And every team's got to strike it, and the league's got to strike it. But this is why the 49ers are so damn good. They go out and find the guys who don't need to practice it. They find the guys where it's baked into them, and if anything, they have to coach it out of them on practice days.
Right.
So they don't go kill each other on practice days. But this is what you're going to see in today's NFL, some of these moments where it's like, wait a minute, why isn't he tackling the guy?
Yeah.
And I really do think that this may be part of the fact that they don't practice it like they used to, Chris.
I think that's real, Mike. I do. I think, one, we're seeing a Dolphins defense still getting used to Vic Fangio and his defensive scheme. 2, I think to your very real point, they're not a defense right now that you certainly can put them in the conversation of a bunch of crazy effers, right, that fly around the field like the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Ravens, right? Teams that, like you said, it's just like it doesn't even seem like they got to coach those guys to do some of that stuff. The Eagles, that they just come out and they hit you in the mouth no matter what. And you're right, you almost got to pull them back and go, hey, let's not kill people and get penalties out all over the place here. So there's that aspect of the Dolphins football team that's certainly something you'd like to see improve. And, that's also part of the reason I think they're, what are they right now, the 25th ranked defense in football. The other aspect, too, Mike, is, I think turnovers have become such a big part of the football game that holding guys up and waiting for the rest of the troops to get there to knock the ball out is a thing. It is a thing in the NFL. Turnovers are such a big stat in dictating who wins or loses the football game. I think there's a little bit of that there, too, where – Kahu, I think I just butchered his name. He's trying to hold him up, hoping that Jones will come by and maybe knock the ball out. But, yeah, the
I
risk.
don't even think he was doing that.
I don't know. Maybe he's not.
I don't think he knew what to do.
Either way,
I feel like he didn't know what the hell to do.
It wasn't physical and aggressive enough is what you're saying. And that's the bottom line. It wasn't enough there. But I was trying to go, maybe that's what they were thinking there. I don't know. But it wasn't good enough. You're right. And that's where Miami – their defensive side of the ball, they're missing their best pass rusher in Jalen Phillips yesterday, but there's definitely some meat on the bone there in that department. I look at them and go, defense, certainly not what you want it to be quite yet. And it's going to be hard because when your offense is that awesome, the other opposing offense, it's like the Mahomes effect, right? We've talked about this. They're going to just empty the sink every week because they got to keep pace with the Dolphins. And then the other thing we saw in the game, and you brought up already, if you can get the Dolphins to third down, they're a different football team. When it's first and second and they still have the threat of the run and the speed sweeps and all the crazy stuff they do, they're hard to defend. But when you get them in third down and it's 3rd and 7 and now play action doesn't really have the same merit and all that, that's where we're seeing the one flaw in their offense. The Patriots got them in those situations a bunch of times, and the Bills did a good job yesterday putting them in those spots, and we'll see if the Dolphins can improve in those two areas.
And look, the Dolphins will be fine. The Bills are definitely fine. They will meet again. The only question is, will they meet for a third time in the postseason like they did last year? And that will be something, and I think it'll be largely driven by who hosts that game. So the Bills pick up the edge in that department, giving the Dolphins their first loss. They're both 3-1, and for now, the Bills hold the head-to-head tiebreaker, but the Dolphins will get their chance later in the year. And also, to the extent that this is extremely relevant to who would host the rematch, if there is one, or the third round, the Bills have that loss in the division. So the Dolphins still have that chance. You go 1-1, you take care of business in the division. The Bills have already lost to the Jets. The Dolphins would hold the edge that way. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.